Okay, welcome everybody to this session of D&D, playing Tyranny of Dragons, and I'm Sam. I am the DM, and yeah, I think you guys made some awesome progress. You just got to the city of Waterdeep in our last session, and per usual, for an inspiration, if anyone would like to give a brief recap of what happened last session, that would be appreciated, and then you'll get an inspiration for the game.
I can jump in if no one else wants to do it. Just gotta find my note. Last time I was taking notes on my phone, which was deeply chaotic.
Yeah.
Okay, so last time we finished investigating the caves and set off that trapped mural that showed all the different dragons that this cult seemed to be worshipping the black ones. My brother Leosin gave us all of the tea about kind of everything that he's been through with the Harpers and how the cult has stolen some device called the Plane Key that they seem to be attempting to use to bring Tiamat to the Sword Coast, from the Nine Hells, by using this device to make a portal for her, and that they, in order to use it or complete the ritual or something, need all of these dragon masks, like the one that we saw Resmir wearing. And that apparently she would talk to the dragon mask, which I found sus. Then we did some traveling. We befriended / conned some kobolds. Let's see. Oh, we made it to Waterdeep, obviously, where we kind of learned about all the different wards, and we sort of checked in on, or not checked in, but we talked about all of the different factions that seem to kind of have different leads. That the Harpers who are in the castle might have something to do with it. Sorry, my notes are very vague, but we wanted to check in with the Harper Spy Master. Is the last thing that I had.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that was a great recap. You guys found out some sus things about Resmir and about the goal overall of this cult and how they want to use these dragon masks and this plane key to bring Tiamat to the material plane. And you followed their trail into Waterdeep. And it is a big city, so I'm just going to remind everybody kind of how I'm going to be running playing the city in D&D. Basically, as you guys travel through each of the 8 different wards of the city, your characters are bound to overhear rumors and conversations, see a poster, maybe talk to a shopkeeper too, and that will allow your character to learn things about the world. So periodically as you explore, I'll ask you to roll a d20, and that will correspond to a rumor table that I have. And based on what you roll, you can hear a rumor that might be pertinent to several side quests throughout the city, or some campaign clues are also sprinkled in there as well. So the more you play and spend time in the city, the more you learn about the city itself and, potentially the cult dragon and what's happening with them. So, last we left off, the party was resting, so you guys can complete a long rest on your character sheets if you haven't already. But you all were resting. You made your way up to the C ward, and you are staying at a very, very nice, very posh inn called the Shimmering Ruby. It's beautiful, so for this game, Cup and Cup's animal companion Joe are going to be spending the day just enjoying the luxurious animal companion spa special, in which the shimmering ruby pampers both of them. So that will explain Cup's absence for today's session.
Thank God we made that canon last week.
Oh yes, it worked out beautifully. They're just having a little spa day. And for Eureka, she does not appear to be in her room right now, but who knows if she'll pop up later on during your guys' exploration of the city. So to kind of set the scene a little bit, the C Ward, this is the home of like the city's elite, and there are a couple major things in the C Ward. So firstly, just to tell a little bit about the structure, I am just going to read I'm just going to do a little read aloud of the description of this ward. So, each of the 8 wards, like we talked about last session, has basically a mascot. It's like this huge, giant, like statue or construct that represents that ward, and they all have their own characters. So here in the C ward, we have the Swagan Humboldt. So, in the home of the city's elite lies a giant statue of a sea monster. With a humanoid body and a shark-like head, the statue wields a spear in one webbed hand. The monster kneels before one of the major cornerstones of the Sea Ward, a giant arena called the Field of Triumph, where adventurers can slay monsters in exchange for spectacle and a lot of coin. While some of the richest citizens gamble in the arena, others prefer to be patrons of the arts and arcana. This leads us to our second major cornerstone of the Sea Ward, and that is the Academy of Waterdeep, which you can visit for lessons in history, music, and magic. The arena and the academy are separated by this verdant garden called the Heroes Garden. It is a natural refuge maintained in the middle of this bustling city. And as you guys wake up in the Sea Ward at the Shimmering Ruby, what would you like to get up to?
I think Sylvia is fairly early, not too early, and she's just going to be thinking about video.
Hey, Jess, I think your mic is a little bit muffled or quiet.
Oh, shoot. Okay,
It's
I'll just have
okay.
to hold it there. It's going to be like, I think, like, most of the time because it was giving me trouble up there. I'll just switch it.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Got it. Okay. Jess will be right back. But Nex and Kyrell, as you kind of wake up from your long rest at the Shimmering Ruby, what are you interested in doing today, and what would you like to do right now?
I actually kind of feel like, having read through like the description of some of the different city neighborhoods, I kind of feel like the Ragashu family forge, the battered anvil, would likely be in the North Ward. Like, would it, like, as far as like the scope of the city, is it like it very easy to get, like, is Waterdeep walkable? Do we have good access
Yes.
to public transit?
Waterdeep is a walkable city.
Cool.
I think
Um,
officially it's like 4 miles long or something like that, but we can
Okay.
flex that.
Next is a power walker, we'll say.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Nex would have gotten up early, like probably at this time be like coming back to the hotel, but would have maybe like gone by her parents' place early in the morning, knowing that her mom wakes up at like, ass o'clock, to have like breakfast with them. And I think she's like very concerned about, these like reports of cultists like gathering at like the castle, like in the city, and would maybe just want to just kind of like get the temperature from her parents about whether they have like noticed anything weird, or sort of like any signs of that kind of like corruption in their part of the city.
Yeah, sure. So are you being accompanied by anyone, or is this kind of something you would want to do on your own?
I don't think I would have made it like a secret if anyone wanted to, but kind of not expecting anyone to want to go hang out with my mom and dad.
I do.
I do.
Also, hi. Also, hi. I'm here.
Hi.
Sorry about that.
No, you're all good.
I didn't get to finish watching the VOD from y'all's last session, but I left off at the part, like basically like you had decided to start heading to Waterdeep, but then I didn't get like whatever happened on the road or anything, or if you guys stopped anywhere on the way there. So if there's any like major development in that trip.
Sure. Yeah, I guess the major development would be like, congratulations, you've gotten to Waterdeep. And
Wonderful.
yes. And as you guys kind of wake up, you see like Nex kind of getting ready, talking about visiting their parents in the Northern Ward. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely tag along, since our parents are my neighbors, so I'll tag along and visit with Nex's family and also pop by my kiddos after.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you guys make your way this early morning to the Northern Ward. So, bring you guys over there. So,
Sorry.
yes?
Is Leo still with us?
Leo would have gone and spent the night with Nex's parents, actually. You just kind of peeled off, wish you guys a good evening, and then you'll see him briefly.
Okay. And it's not like a secret that he's a harper or anything, right? Like his parents know what he does for a living?
Well, you'll find out.
Okay, cool. I don't want to out him, but like, concerns.
So excited for 20 minutes of Sam role-playing a family argument amongst themselves while we just are sipping coffee in the background and watching.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I have a different hat, actually, for each one. I've got, like, 6 baseball caps here. Okay. So, to the Northern Ward. So, the mascot, or this giant construct that is kind of the symbol of the Northern Ward, is this statue called the Sword Maiden. So, in the residential ward of the city, where the streets are lined with quaint homes, cozy cafes, stands a magnificent statue of a warrior. She is a symbol of courage and valor that inspires all who dwell under the shadow of her shield. Children play at her feet, and neighbors come together for local festivals. The North Ward is home for most locals of Waterdeep, and you could find very small shops here as well. So as you guys make your way through the Northern Ward, next, you kind of fall into the familiar pattern of your hometown, and you know exactly how to get to your destination, the Battered Anvil. As you guys approach, this is like a 2-story structure where the first floor actually functions as a forge and blacksmithery, as Nex's mom is a pretty proficient blacksmith in Waterdeep and runs a small business there with the help of her husband and partner. And as you approach, you hear hammering already, as you kind of open and as you come into the room, you push open the door and visually you can see that the shop is currently open, but there are no patrons. Next, you see your mother. Human, kind of stocky build, curly brown hair, and she's just muttering, stupid fucking Leo, and just as she's hammering the thing, getting kidnapped, what am I gonna do about all this? And then as she pulls a broadsword into water, she looks up and sees you and goes, oh, well, welcome home.
Kind of usually wanting to avoid my mom in these moods, just sort of sheepishly hey, I'm back. And then immediately turning the attention to Eunice, who, is the guest to be nice to. Look who I brought.
Oh, and she rushes off.
You can't use me to get out of this one, kid.
I elbow you a little bit.
Hello.
Hi, Eunice.
Have we caught you at a bad time?
No, everything is good. Next, your father is upstairs with Leo. They're just having a quick chat. But yeah, see you brought guests. Eunice, so good to see you again. The others, I don't think we've met.
Oh, did anyone else in the party come with us?
Oh, shoot. Okay, first off, is my sound okay?
Yes.
Yeah, can hear you definitely better.
Oh, hello. I'm Sylvia. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. I'm Nex's mom's name, which is...
It's Mira, M-I-R-A.
Mira. Thank you. I'm Mira. Nice to meet you. And she grabs your hand with a real strong, firm handshake, which rattles your more delicate frame a bit.
Sylvia only gives kind of the fingertips. She's not giving palm to palm.
Okay.
And she's oh, your child has been excellent on the road, really. You should be very impressed.
Your child.
Next, even though that's kind of an insane way to be referred to, is blushing for sure.
I think Tyrell's just somewhere in the background, just kind of minding his own business, kind of head in the clouds, hood up.
Yeah, sure. And Mira kind of looks at you next, and Leosin came home roughed up a bit very late last night. Mind you, he woke me and your father up. But, they're having a bit of a chat upstairs, but you did good, kiddo. And that's just, your mom who, you've never known her to, kind of give compliments like that, or, be really vocal about, her affection for her children, or her husband, really. But, you kind of see as she, turns from you guys to start working again, that she's also, blushing a little bit as she goes back to work.
Wow, we're so well adjusted. I sort of clear my throat and say, well, maybe we'll head upstairs, say hi to Dad, and feeling like that's probably a conversation we want to join.
Yeah, sure. And she just kind of waves her hand and starts getting back to work. And Kyrell, if you're kind of perusing around the shop a little bit, you do hear like the bell of a door as like another patron walks in, and Mira just kind of starts talking to that person as Nex and whoever would like to accompany Nex up the stairs make their way.
Yeah, here I come.
I think Sylvia's just gonna stay downstairs. Because she doesn't feel like she knows like this family well enough to like do that. She'll just like, I don't know, wander around the place as much as can and just inspect and judge everything.
Alright. So Kyrell and Sylvia will remain downstairs in the shop while Eunice and Nex head upstairs. And we'll start with Eunice and Nex. As you guys go upstairs, you can see just like in the little kind of foyer area of your home, Next you see your father, big orcish figure, kind of a gentle giant in his demeanor, is doing that dad sit where you have where he's like leaned over a bit and he has his elbows on his knees, and he's talking to your brother Leosin, who has refreshed bandages around like his shoulder and arm.
Can I try to eavesdrop a bit, at the bottom of the stairs before we head up?
Yeah, sure. Why don't you make a perception check?
Okay. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. I love that. Dirty, filthy, slutty 20, as Kirsten would say. Okay, yeah. On a dirty 20, you are able to kind of like make out the words of this conversation. And you hear Leosin say, "Look, I'm sorry, but this is really important. You don't understand how important this is. People are in danger." And then you hear your dad be like, "Well, you're important to me, and you're important to this family, so you need to take better care of yourself. I don't know why you want to keep doing all this Harper business." And that's about the extent of the conversation that you hear.
Cool. I think I'm a little bit surprised to hear it since my older brother was always the sort of golden child. He's the one that my parents would brag about of joining the Harpers seemed like the fantasy version of getting into Harvard or something. But I think I'll make a lot of noise as I'm going up the stairs to so they stop talking about this before I get up there.
Yeah, and as you kind of crest the top of the stairs, your dad is already on his feet, and just his large orcish frame comes and gives you a big hug and just lifts you up just a little bit. He goes, "Oh, I'm so glad you're okay." And then looks over your shoulder to see Eunice also coming up the stairs and goes, "Oh, Eunice, you too. I'm happy you're both here." And just kind of puts you down.
I'd give him a warm hug back and also hug Leo and kind of step back to allow Nex to have a conversation with them.
Yeah, sure. And you kind of go in to give Leo a hug, and he goes, "Ow, ow, ow," as you graze a bruise on his back before kind of peeling off. Goes, "It's appreciated. Thanks, Eunice." And next, see your father, and he's got these two big tusks, on his lower jaw that kind of come out, and you could see how his teeth kind of set in this very worried expression. His brows are furrowed, and he just kind of looks at you, just I'm very proud of both of you. He looks back and forth at you and Leo. But I feel This might have been somewhat of a wake-up call. Next, I know Leo may have gotten in over his head a bit. And he just kind of like side-eyes Leo a little bit. And from what he's told me, it seems you were able to really get him out of it. And really proud. I know that your mother and I gave you a hard time when you dropped out of wizard school at the academy. And not that you have to make up for that or anything. You know, you're our daughter and we're still very proud of you and want to support you in all of your endeavors. But when you left the school, I was just worried maybe you lost your way a bit. So I'm so glad you were able to take care of your brother when he really needed it.
I think Nex is wrestling with like both, definitely in the way that she sometimes takes after her mom, being like uncomfortable at this kind of display, and maybe like a little bit of you know, sort of like anger or embarrassment at, you know, being reminded of how she fucked up at wizard school. So kind of just like deeply fiddling with, you know, one of the like plants growing out of her staff. But I think we'll, you know, kind of like look at her brother and sort of say, you know, like, we've got each other's backs now. That, you know, I know that you and Mom, your whole life is here in the North Ward, and it worries you to see us kind of going where you can't follow always. But, you know, Leo and I, we're in this together. We're going to stick together. And if we're in over our heads, we're in over our heads together. Maybe Eunice is in over her head too. But, you know, that's what like having a party is all about. And I don't know, I can't tell you not to worry, but I think Leo and I will worry enough about each other for the whole family.
Yeah, and Leo just kind of like chuckles a little bit. He goes, he has kind of like a more arrogant disposition, and it's like, yeah, don't worry, there's nothing the two of us, you know, can't handle now that we're together, and it's only gonna make us stronger, right?
Yeah, now that Leo's got me to save his ass every time he messes up.
Okay,
we'll
well,
fine.
I saved your ass that one time. You were trying to grab a cloak, and the room is filling with acid.
So anyway, Dad, have
Acid?
you?
What do you mean acid?
You heard anything suspicious lately? And seen anything weird?
We're gonna cut right there and go back downstairs. Come back to that conversation in a moment. But Sylvia and Kyrell, you guys kind of overhear a bit of the conversation that is happening between Mira and this patron that has walked in to the battered anvil. I would like one of you to roll a d20 for our rumor table.
I can go ahead.
Sure.
D20. Seven.
Okay. Yeah, you know, you see this, you know, person that has come in. She's like this tall, like, white dragonborn person, and she comes in just leaning over on the counter and just kind of creaks a little bit as she like puts her clawed hand underneath her chin to rest on the table. She goes, yeah, you know, do you remember that creepy old house like a couple of blocks from here? Amira goes, yeah. I mean, not been the old banded one at the corner there. And she goes, yeah. The super creepy one that's like been abandoned forever. I heard that there's some kind of operation going on there. Mira goes, sure. And just kind of like shrugging as like, she's like flipping through like an inventory logbook. She goes, yeah, I heard, I think there's something spooky going on over there. And anybody that goes inside is never seen again. And Mira goes, yeah, I don't really believe in ghost stories. And just closes the book. Is there anything you want to buy, though? And at that, this dragonborn goes, yeah, and just like starts kind of perusing some more of the like general tools that Mira manufactures here.
Oh, Sylvia's gonna butt right in and just be like, oh my god, I heard the same thing on my way here. What is the deal with that house?
It's I don't know. It's just like it's been abandoned for so long, and I heard there may be like some new residents or something. I don't know, but like people that go in never are seen again. It's real weird.
I mean, maybe they're just like making it their home or something. People do
Maybe,
that.
who knows? I'm certainly not brave enough to go over and check it out.
Do you know anybody who's been in there?
I mean, I not personally know. It's just, kind of the talk of the neighborhood right now, really.
I know, everybody's talking about it. I can't
See,
think of
I'm so
maybe I
glad.
should get my friends too. What do you think, Kyrell? Is that something that you would like to experience?
I mean, I don't really believe in ghost stories much myself, but if you're interested, I don't mind going with you.
Would you say you have an open mind about ghosts?
Not. I mean, Kyrell scratches their head. I wouldn't say that I really believe in ghosts per se.
What about demons?
I mean, demons are out there. Ghosts, I think, play tricks on people's minds. We hear and see what we want to see sometimes. I mean, who knows? It could just be a few rats or people taking shelter in the house.
Could be. I don't know. In my experience, when people start rumors about something to discourage people from checking something out, there's usually a reason for that. And the fact that there's so many people talking about this tells me that somebody has spent a lot of effort trying to hide something.
Do you feel like people might be in there?
I think we should at least mention it to the rest of the group. And yeah, I don't know. Information is power, right? Like if we find out something that somebody doesn't want to know, or if we can find out something that nobody else knows, I think that might be worth something.
Kyrell shrugs.
Anyways, do you see anything in here that you like?
And Kyrell's just still looking on the walls. There's a lot of craftsmanship that goes into these tools and swords. They have their uniqueness to them. Something I can appreciate.
Anything you want, I can buy for you. My family's rich.
Where's your family from?
Some of it's from here. Like a pretty big house. I don't know. I've got some connections with the lady that runs the place.
Huh. Do you have family here that you'd like to visit?
No, I don't know. I'm kind of busy right now. What's your family like?
They're nice enough. I have a older brother that tends to get on my nerves, but we get along pretty well.
Yeah, siblings can be like, I don't know, annoying. Um, what's like, okay, just out of character. What's like what is around us? Is there like good quality stuff, or is it just like mundane items? Anything like shiny?
Yeah, you would see, there are some like kind of standard tools that a blacksmith would make for maybe farmers or more industrial districts, but you do also see a variety of like handmade like armor and weapons that would probably cost a little bit more, but you're welcome to just kind of peruse if you're looking for kind of armor or weaponry that might be more specific. You're welcome to inquire further.
Okay. What was her name? Mira?
Mira.
Mira, excuse me.
Oh, yes. You see anything you like?
I mean, like, the craftsmanship is beautiful here. I'm just curious what you're most proud of.
What I'm most proud of? Ooh, that's a great question. Let's see here. Give me 1 second while I pull up the inventory. Yeah, okay. So the thing that I'm most proud of, that's a great question. And you kind of see her like go into the forge, and like where you didn't see before, there is like the handle of this like sword, just like the pommel, and she pulls it out of the forge, and the whole blade is just on fire, and it just has flames on it. And she goes, "This is probably my best one. I have to keep it, well, I usually keep it in the forge just because, it's always on fire, so if I left it out, it'd burn the whole place down." And she just kind of like swings it a little bit. She goes, "This is it's a flame tongue longsword. It's got a pretty cool enchantment on it."
Wow.
Pyrella's like going way up to that sword and is like checking out the craftsmanship.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, if you're interested, I'll just go ahead and read like the details of this flame tongue longsword. You can use a bonus action to speak a command word, and it will cause flames to erupt from the blade. These flames shed bright light for 40 foot and dim light for an additional 40 feet radius. While the sword is ablaze, it deals an extra 2d6 fire damage to any target it hits. The flames last until you use the command word or until you drop or sheath the sword.
Okay, so Sylvia sees Chiral like pretty clearly interested in the sword. So Mira, like between you and me, like Nex has been doing great, but it's gotten kind of sketchy a couple of times. I'm not gonna lie. Tyrell's like he's helping keep her safe. Like, and I think this door would really help with that. What kind of discount could you give us on it?
Discount? I mean, my baby girl has done a pretty good job of taking care of herself, but, you know, usually this sword runs about... Second here. Let me figure out this math.
Yeah, figure out what we do.
Matt.
Yeah, usually this sword here runs about 5,000 gold. It is my pride and joy of the shop. And it is quite a rare magical item. So, you know, I'm not going to, you know, Max can handle herself pretty well, but, why don't you go ahead and make a persuasion check. See if you can haggle.
Come on. Oh, I hate when it stays on 19 and then moves to 1.
Okay. 7. But a natural 1?
Yeah, that one.
She looks affronted a bit, but like, I mean, Nex can handle herself. You know, we brought her up well, and, you know, and she kind of like gives a little side eye to you, Kyrell, and is like, no offense, but, you know, she's pretty capable, and, not really the family discount kind of person, and she, like, puts the blade back, into the forge. And she clasps her hands.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, she just kind of clasps her hands together, like 5,000 is the price. You know, you're welcome. There's plenty of ways to earn money in the city. You guys seem like a great group of adventurers, anyway.
Oh, I have the money. It's just a matter of like wiring to different banks, and the sending stones only go so far. And you know how it is. We'll be back later.
Sure. And you know, I have other wares of you know, less value if you want to peruse further.
Well, what would you part with for like, I don't know, 1,000?
For 1,000.
Any
Let
half
me see.
plate?
What's that, Clara?
Any half plate armor?
Oh yeah, sure. We've got some half plates. Our half plate runs at. Give me a sec. Half plate, standard price is 750 gold pieces. Let's see. Got some +1 weapons here, I think. Yeah, you probably get, you know, some kind of +1 weapon. I've got some boomerangs, some other swords, things like that. But the half plate's 750.
Okay. And any mithril armor?
Mithril, let me check. Yeah, I've got some mithril armor here. That would go for about 500 gold pieces.
$500, that's not too bad for mithril.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Like, it's kind of scuffed though. Like, has this been used?
No, this hasn't been used at all. I hand make it myself here. I don't sell secondhand.
I don't know. Tyrell, I think it is worth it. I don't have much money on me though. Maybe we should like talk to the rest of the group before we spend that stuff that we got from the treasure.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't want to spend the money that we earned as a group on something quite so expensive as this.
Usually I carry it on me, but I don't know. I was just in such a rush that I just didn't grab so much. Do you have like a few hundred gold on you?
I have some gold on me, but most of my money is back home.
Yeah, I know that. That's I know. Okay. Maybe they'll come back down soon.
Maybe.
Okay, and then we will kind of cut right there and go back to Eunice next upstairs with Leosin and then.
Yeah, I think I don't want to, like, especially since, you know, my dad is already the worrywart type. I don't want to give, like, too much away as far as, like, how fucked we all are. But we'll just sort of more, like, just generally try to get at, like, you know, whether he's, like, noticed unusual activity in the city or, like, you know, just thinking about this kind of, like, potential corruption. Like, maybe specifically asking about, like, you know, things like from the guards or just kind of like not thinking that he would have had any like specific interactions with customers or anything, but just sort of more generally in the neighborhood if anything has seemed off.
Yeah, sure. So I think Zen would kind of respond to that line of dialogue and just be like, oh, well, I mean, we don't see any like corruption or anything like that going on, but I did hear one thing interesting. So the Lord's Alliance, you know, the leaders from the other city-states, I heard they're gonna be coming into Waterdeep soon. And just like, it's so weird to have like a bunch of the leaders coming all in one place. And Leosin just chimes in and goes, yeah, exactly, and, you know, that's why all the stuff that I've been doing with the Harpers is so important. You know, next, kind of like, it'd be great if, you know, we all were able to go and just, like, get an audience with them. And just tell them about everything with Daggerford and everything that's been going on with the cult. You know, maybe they can help.
Cool. I think I will. I don't think I have any more questions for my dad. I think I'll sort of nod to Leo and say that, you know, like there's a few different leads that we want to follow up on in the city, but, you know, we'd definitely be interested in talking to the, you know, his, I don't know, his supervisor, the Harper Spy Master, if he'd be willing to let us accompany him.
Yeah, sure. You know, I've got some things to kind of clean up around here, just help out Mom and Dad, but, you know, my boss, basically, East of All, you know, I'll be tagging up with her real soon, and, you know what, I'll come find you, before I do, and, yeah, we'll head over together, maybe to the Castle Ward, and meet up with Eastabal, the spy master there, and have a bit more of a in-depth conversation about this meeting with the Lord's Alliance.
Sounds like a plan. And I think if Eunice doesn't have anything else to add, as we're leaving and I'm kind of like giving my dad a hug, I just like, sort of like gently like hold, he's like definitely like a full foot taller than me, but I sort of like try to hold like either of his shoulders and just like give him one final reassurance and say like, listen, Eunice is one of the like best healers I've ever seen. Sylvia is so slick, she can talk her way out of anything. Kyrill's a badass with a sword. Eureka's discovering all of these cool things about magic. Cup's cow is some kind of legendary warrior, I think. I don't know. She wears armor, even though she's a cow, so we're all in good hands. And while we're in the city, I'll try to check in as much as I can.
Wait. Wait. Who wears armor? The cow?
No.
Is it cow or the cup?
It's the cow. The cow's getting a massage right now.
Getting a massage? Whatever. Okay.
We gotta go.
Alright. Yeah. And for brevity, we'll say you guys make your way, back downstairs and reconvene as a group.
Eunice wants to hang back and have a private word with Line.
There's Leosin or there's Zen.
Yeah, Zen. I swear I wrote these down. Oh yeah, there it is. And kind of let Leo and Nex go back downstairs.
Eunice, you got something on your mind.
I sit down wherever there are seats. I don't know if we're what kind of room we're in, but I sit down and like pat the seat next to him for him to have a seat. And I imagine that like Bear is like who has been following along, just like lays down at his feet. Listen, Zen. You and I have known each other a long time. I've known you since you were about the age of those kids down there. And I've been in this game a long time and I've seen a lot of things. So, I can't promise you that nothing's gonna happen. That would just be untrue. Kids are young, they're gonna dive headfirst into their adventures and their whims. But the difference between most kids and those kids, your kids, is the risks they're taking and the things that they are committing to are meant for a greater good. Those kids have a lot of heart and passion and courage, and that's not a coincidence. That comes from you and Mira. So, while I can't guarantee that nothing will happen to us, I can give you this much. She takes out just a less elaborate version essentially of her prayer beads. Think of people own multiple rosaries or crucifixes and stuff like that. She's got just a collection of them, and she takes out one and holds it over his hand. And she says, look, I know you and I might not follow the same deities, might not have the same beliefs, but my goddess, the goddess I serve, Sorolili, she blesses and protects those who commit themselves to friendship and trustworthiness and loyalty. And
she will always be guiding our hand through this journey, and I hope that this can give you some amount of comfort. And whenever you are worried about those kids out there fighting the good fight, I want you to hold on to those beads and remember what they're fighting for.
Yeah, and he like takes these prayer beads from you and just kind of wraps it around like his hand. He goes, Eunice, we've always looked up to you. Really respected member of the community around here. I remember, being a young orc teenager in this neighborhood and hearing about all the crazy adventures that you and Anthar and Barum all got up to, and you have a lot of respect from our family, and it really means a lot that you and Nex have kind of formed this team, and I do worry about them, but I've never been really religious person, but I think that these are going to serve as, at the very least, a good reminder of what they're capable of. Crazy stories I've heard about you and what you've done. Thanks. Makes me feel better.
She's gonna clear her throat and clasp his shoulder a little bit too strongly for the tender moment, and go, well, you know what? I'm proud of you too, kid.
He gives a pretty big hearty laugh at that.
I'm happy to hear you say those same words to the kids. I think Mira needs to work her way up to it, but I know it means a lot to the both of them to hear that you all trust in them and believe in them and are proud of what they're doing.
Aw, shucks. Mira might never say it, but maybe I say it too much, or I harp on them too much.
I don't think you could ever say something like that too much. Well, anybody got some tea around here? You want to put a kettle on or something?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you know what? You folks go downstairs. I'll put a kettle on, and I'll meet you there. And you guys kind of reconvene in the battered anvil. Eventually you have a little cup of tea. You're welcome to have more conversations here or move on if you'd like.
I don't know why Eunice's voice turned into an old cowboy or some weird shit. Some southern drawl came out for some reason. That was kind of weird, but yeah.
Dude, literally no worries. I have the stupidest voices for NPCs, so.
She's been around a lot. She's picked up a bunch of different accents. It's fine. I think Sylvia would probably want to just share news, stuff like that. On the house, I feel like we've heard about it a couple times. Might be worth a side quest.
I think I shoot my dad a look, being like, I asked if there's anything suspicious going on, and you don't mention the haunted house that's 2 blocks away. Yeah, I'm down to check that out, Sylvia.
Look, I just had a conversation where I don't even really believe in religion all that much. Let alone ghosts.
Okay, and you didn't believe in the Feywild until I started having dreams about it, even though it's just a place that exists. So I don't really want to hear it.
Your dreams are very convincing, and I believe you as my daughter.
Feywild. You have dreams about the Feywild?
Yeah, sometimes it seems that, in those moments where I, feel like I've seen something before, a different outcome maybe. Sometimes those come to me when I'm feeling like I'm wandering in fantastical places in my dreams,
It's not something you hear of every day.
Next just kind of shrugs. Crazy dreams, I guess.
Maybe I know you're from around here. You wouldn't know where the Temple of Gond is, would you?
I feel like, I mean, I know that like I didn't picture our family as being like religious, but Gond is the like blacksmith gnomish god, right? So I feel like we probably would have an idea. I'm assuming we would have an idea of where that is.
Yeah, sure. And you know, being resident of Waterdeep, you would know that pretty much like most temples that aren't just local shrines are in the ward called the City of the Dead. It's kind of the religious epicenter of Waterdeep.
Would it be alright if we stop by there later, if someone could show me the way? Because I fear I might get lost.
I'd be happy to. Might as well stop over and make an offering at Sorolali's shrine while I'm in that direction anyway.
Thank you.
So, haunted house, City of the Dead. Sound like our day?
Hell yeah.
Great day.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So why don't we take about a 5-minute break while I prepare the haunted house little side quest for you guys. And I think Kirsten will be joining us for that one. And the rest of the session. So go on break for about 5 minutes, get that all set up, and then we will reconvene.
Good.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right, cool. Alright, so we are back. You guys are still in the Northern Ward here. Overheard a couple of rumors about a creepy old house that is coincidentally only a few blocks from Nex's home and, family residence slash forge, the Battered Anvil. So, as you guys kind of make your way through the Northern Ward, you do come across this, unmistakably creepy house. This creepy old house stands at the corner of the street, and its once grand facade is, extremely weathered by time. The door, you're able to just kind of, gently push the door opens, and it creaks very loudly, and, as you enter, the floors creak, and, the house itself is, mostly empty, except for, cobwebs that are really serving as, the only decor. And as you enter this creepy house, you see, 3 goblins sitting at a table, right before, an interior door. And there's a sign displayed prominently right when you enter, and it says, entrance fee 1 gold piece.
Per person?
Yes, per person. Pay the fee and descend the stairs. The dungeon, the basement, is both a haunting and thrilling experience.
Do y'all own this house?
Well, no, but nobody else does. So, we are simply running business here. The creepy old house. And, it's, it could be fun to explore the basement for a fee, of course.
It seems to me that if nobody owns this house, it's technically property of the city. Now, I actually happen to be good friends with a couple folks on the city council who might be very interested to know about this illegal activity happening here. I feel like you're both smart, strong, young men? Goblins? I feel like, wouldn't you be so much prouder of yourself if you earned your money through, I don't know, more honest means? Instead of trying to swindle the good people of the city?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
I'm a narc.
Jeez. What gold?
Look, it's the principle of the thing.
Next is like, wow, Sylvia's really rubbing off on you guys.
Okay, let's see.
Old lady.
That's at 13.
13? Okay. Well, if your city folks, your city council people want to come down here and check for our permits and stuff, I'm sure we could figure something out, okay? So, there's no need to get, authorities involved. We're just having some fun.
Mm-hmm.
You sure you don't want to show us those permits now?
I'm also concerned about the fact that they're letting people down there when there could be actually dangerous things going on. Have you two been down there yourselves recently?
No, not at all. Of course, it's very haunted and creepy. So we're scared to go downstairs, and then the other one is like, "Yeah, it's too scary for us. We don't go downstairs."
Can I make an insight check on that?
Yeah, sure.
I'm trying to figure out, like, what exactly is the scam here? Oof, it's not great. What do I have to insight? 13.
13. I'm gonna do a private roll. And that will either be persuasion or deception, depending on whether or not they're lying. Yeah, so you get the vibe that, you know, they've never been down there before, and it might actually be pretty scary.
Well, how can you sell an attraction if you've never been down there?
I mean, have you seen this house? It's creepy as fuck. And then, like, you look around and you see that the rest of this house has no furniture. Like, each room on this first, like, floor just, like, it's completely empty except for the table and the sign that the goblins have put up. And there's just a door that leads to presumably a basement.
How many people have paid for your attraction here? How many customers have you had?
Well, if I could count, that would help. And then the other goblin goes, I got it.
Right.
And then holds up, like, 3 fingers and goes, 7!
And how many of those people came back up the stairs?
Whoa, alive? 0.
Did some of them come back up the stairs dead?
Oh, I didn't think about that. No. Yes. Which would be scarier for you?
I'm trying so hard not to absolutely love these.
How about this? Let's strike a little deal here. You're clearly very, very smart, capable, very good with numbers. If you waive your fees, my friend next here, she's an incredible artist. If we get to see the spooky scaries that are down there, she could whip you up a nice poster to draw some attention in. What do you think about that? Get you some more business.
Yeah, I've got a Canva Pro subscription, so let that ruminate.
Yeah, go ahead and make a persuasion check for that.
Can I give the help action?
Sure.
Yep. I am on my phone. Roll 2 d20. Okay. This is very slow. Wow. So this is a choice between a 2 and a 3. For a total of 5.
5. Yeah. No. We want the payment up front, please. Oh, and by the way, should you perish, any of your belongings we just kind of claim. I hope that's alright with you.
Oh, no problem at all. I mean, if I perish down there, no doubt I'll be coming back to haunt both of you, so I wouldn't worry about my belongings going anywhere.
Shh.
Why don't you come along with it so that you can claim those belongings and we don't make sure that we lose them?
That's a great idea. You know, a good salesman really knows his product. I think my friend here is absolutely correct. Come down with us.
Oh, no. I think we'll be staying right here. But the gold pieces, please, and we'll open the door.
You miss the gold pieces?
I'm gonna... How many of us are there?
Can I minor illusion some gold pieces?
I really want to give them 3 gold pieces because that was the number they held up. and say that it's the correct amount.
Yeah, sure. You kind of hold up 3 gold pieces and they take it, and they're like, right this way, and they open the door for you.
Good God.
Alright, so we are going to be playing this dungeon, a little bit theater of the mind, so I put some atmospheric music on, and let's see. So, you descend the stairs into this basement, and you hear the door like click close behind you from the top of the stairs, and soon it disappears from sight. And you find yourself in this like very straight and narrow hallway. So at the end of this hallway, you see a large double door that is covered in like an indecipherable sequence of gears, cogs, and various mechanisms. It gleams with this oily sheen, and it occasionally like discharges like small hisses of steam, like as some of the gears are turning.
We have people in this party that are good with, machine stuff, right?
I feel like that would usually be Eureka.
Shoot. Couldn't remember if it was Eureka or not.
Know a bit about machines. I might be able to find my way around it.
I'll give you guidance.
I'll give you inspiration too.
So
I think we can stack them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Guidance and bardic inspiration. So Kyrell, if you kind of want to approach the door and examine it, why don't you go ahead and make a investigation check?
Okay. And what is it with guidance?
the D4.
D4. Okay. And that's the same for inspiration, correct?
Bardic is D6.
D6, and you don't have to use it. Like, you can use it after the roll. Or you can
Okay. Awesome. So I'm gonna do... Definitely gonna be using it. So that's gonna make a total of... would equal 19.
19, okay. Yeah, so with that investigation check, you see, like, a small, like, lever on the door. It seems harmless. You pull it, and it kind of reveals, like, this panel. This panel, like, slides open, and it has, like, lets out a little bit of steam as one of the gears, like, turns and opens this panel. And on this panel are 3 red buttons.
Well, I think we have 3 choices in front of us.
Do any of the buttons look... Okay, so Sylvia is walking up and she's just gonna, like, get really close and eyeball them. Do any of them look like they've had, like, they've been pressed more often? Like, are there any fingerprints or anything on them?
Yeah, you can go ahead and make a perception check.
Gotta suck today. 10.
10. Not really that you can tell. You're not sure.
Does anyone have mage hands so we can guess and just stand really far away when we do it?
I do have mage hand.
Oh, I also have unseen servant.
I can also see if there's any magic involved in this.
Yeah.
Kyril's gonna cast Detect Magic.
Okay. You spend a moment, cast your spell, and sense, the hallway, the room around you, the space around you. Nothing about this door or these buttons seems magical in any way.
It's all mechanical. It's quite the contraption, actually, and Kyril's kind of mesmerized and trying to figure out where the buttons go to.
Gonna hang back while everyone's figuring that out, and if I have a full 10 minutes, she's just gonna be like ritual casting unseen servant. And if we figure it out before then it's good. Not, never.
Sure, and in the 10 minutes while that spell is being cast, do you guys do anything else?
I'm gonna cast some, just every 3 minutes, cast either Druidcraft or Minor Illusion to just make spooky noises and shit upstairs to scare those shitty little goblins.
Yes.
Just creaking noises and occasionally groaning or a distant scream or so, or snuff out one of their candles and then relight it.
I'm trying to think. That's really cool, but I'm trying to think with Druidcraft or Minor Illusion if you have to see the target. Is there a visual component to those spells?
It just says, let's see, Druidcraft. It just has a range of 30 feet. It doesn't say I need line of sight. And doesn't look like I need line of sight for Minor Illusion either.
Okay, yeah, so...
Both just have to be within 30 feet.
Okay, and then what's your passive perception?
Mine is... hate that question. 14.
14. Okay. Yeah, so... you make, a distant scream sound from upstairs, and then, the wood starts creaking, and, you kind of, in our Druidcraft, vines that come up from, above you and go through, the floorboards. And you hear...
Honestly, just laughing to myself listening to this.
Alright, and then we'll say the Unseen Servant has been cast at the end of this.
Okay. How long is the hallway? Is it roughly?
30 feet.
Oh. So does anybody have any ideas before I just start getting it to press buttons?
I say go for it.
Okay.
That doesn't.
Press the right button. And it's gonna press the button on the right.
Okay. As you press the button, or as your Unseen Servant presses the button on the right, the button causes gears to whirl and clank, and the door itself seems to become more activated in some way.
Is there any markings on the door itself?
With your previous 19 investigation check, no.
Okay.
Did you say it became activated in some way?
Yeah, like the door is getting like louder, like the gears are spinning faster.
Did the button come back up?
Yeah.
Can I press it again?
You press it again and it doesn't seem to like change the state of the door.
What's the middle button do?
You press the middle button and several of the gears like spin really, really fast and like steam starts coming out and there's these like pistons that begin to move up and down on the door.
Okay, let's press the left button.
You press the last button and the door begins to like shake with like gears are spinning and like almost like they're gonna come off and these pistons are moving up and down and then you hear this release and the door swings open.
Figured it out.
Wow. I was lucky? Maybe? We don't know
Really
what's behind the door.
Really thought that was gonna explode for a second.
What's behind door number 1?
Alright, so you guys move into the next room. And similar narrow hallway. The door behind you actually closes and you hear a click. And
Oh. Nope.
And ahead of you, roughly 30 feet in this narrow hallway, is another door. And this door is carved with arcane ritual markings and inlaid with runes, circles, and magical formulas.
That's great. I would like to go back and check the door that closed behind us and see if I can open it.
Sure, you try the handle and it does not open.
Well, I guess the way out is through.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Tyrell wants to check the runes on the door to see if there's anything that they're able to kind of recognize.
Sure, why don't you go ahead and make an Arcana check.
I would like to help him with that, I imagine. Eunice would probably know something about magical runes a little bit.
Yeah. Go ahead and make that check with advantage then, Tyrell.
Okay. $22. Dirty 22.
All right. You know, as you step like closer and closer to the door, it begins to like hum, and like some of these arcane markings begin to glow a little bit. And right when you're close to the door and you're able to, really interpret these glyphs, you see that there are 3 glyphs on this door, arranged in like a triangle pattern, and they are incomplete.
Would we still be able to recognize what the glyphs are? Like, are they symbols that we would recognize that we could finish?
Yeah, I will say with a 22 Arcana check, these 3 glyphs, each one represents a single word, and you gather
Seek friend and enter.
Close.
That's 3
it
words,
says
right?
open the door.
Oh.
The missing word is damn. Open the damn door.
Damn door. Does it open if we try it? Did somebody just already try opening it? Or have we just been looking at it?
I think we've just been looking at it to see what it says on the door.
Did we like finish the glyphs?
Yeah, sure. So, Eunice and Kyrell, kind of like using your more inherent like magical abilities, are able to kind of use your fingers to trace and complete the glyphs. And with each complete glyph, Like the runes on the door glow even brighter, and then once you finish the third glyph, the door opens.
Cool. It's just gonna be easy door puzzles all the way down.
This goblin's really scammed us.
All right, as you make your way into the next room, you see room is a little bit like more wide of a chamber, and the door clicks closed behind you. Looking back, you see there is actually no door handle on this side. But ahead of you, you see another door that appears to be made of simple wood and iron.
I would like to detect magic on this door.
Actually, does Kyrell still have detect magic running right now?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
I will say
Yeah.
that it definitely would still be running. Your detect magic does not pick up anything magical about this door.
It just seems like it's a simple wooden door. Maybe it's a push door instead of a... Kyrell's gonna try to push the door.
Okay, you approach the door and, you put your hand against it and push. And it's like, your hand is like stuck to the door. Like you can't get your hand off of the door. And then like you see between two wood panels of the door, this eyelid blinks open.
No.
And then where the handle was, these teeth begin to form, an open jaw, and Kyrell, you are adhered to a mimic, and we will roll initiative.
Good.
But it was just supposed to be doors.
Oh, the mimics!
Alright, let me bring up a battle map. We're gonna be using like a real basic map. I hope you guys don't mind for this one.
Oh, we mind a lot. We expect you to have bespoke maps for every random bullshit that we get to, okay?
Get rid of some of these extra ones. Yeah, sorry, this map is... the squares are a little bit small, so you might have to zoom in a little bit more.
18 for Eunice.
Okay.
17 for Kyrell.
16 for next.
Back in here. Okay, let me roll real quick for the mimic. Okay, and then Eunice, what was your initiative roll?
18.
18, gotcha. Okay. Feel free to kind of move yourselves along the board here.
That's a very cute token for the mimic.
Thank you. It is just kind of default, kind of the default token for an ooze, but I'm using it for a mimic because it looks cool.
Is there a wall along where it is?
Yeah, sure. Let me draw a wall real quick. There.
It's perfect.
Alright, Eunice, at top of initiative, what would you like to do?
I would like to do some cleric things. And I definitely know what those things are. I forgot that y'all had taken a long rest because I was not in the last session, and I'm like, all my spell slots are gone. No, they're not.
No.
I like. Where'd it go? Oh, I think is Balm of Peace a bonus action? Should we move? Okay, never. Oh, that's my channel divinity. Okay. Sorry, y'all. It's been a minute since I've played this character, and I'm like, what can I do again? I'm just gonna, for the sake of time, cast a sacred flame at the mimic and think through my next round a little bit better.
Sure, that's a dex save, I believe.
Dex 12.
Dex 12, okay. On a natural 1, it will fail that dex save.
2 radiant damage.
2 radiant damage, okay. Anything else for your turn?
Let me look at my actions. What are my bonus actions? I don't think so at this time. I don't think we need... Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, next up, Kyrell. You are considered grappled currently by the mimic. Let me put a token on you. And while you are grappled, what would you like to do?
Kyrell would like to become ungrappled by the mimic. It just... they do not like their hands on what they thought was a door that is now turned into a mimic, and it has eyes, and Kyrell is just, what the hell is going on right now? So they are gonna try to pull back.
Okay. Because of the adhesive property of this mimic, your ability check to escape is made with disadvantage. But go ahead and make a athletics check with disadvantage.
Okay. Disadvantage is a 14. The other one would have been a net 20 plus a 5, so still pretty good considering.
14 is enough to break away. Like, you peel your hand off of this door that has just, like, formed into this monstrous creature. Like, it's got this, like, large tongue that's, like, purple and lashing out. And you see, like, several rows of teeth, like, just kind of dripping with, like, ooze. As you're able to, like, free yourself and take a step back.
Awesome. I don't think Kyrell can do anything else than that, correct? Because that would have taken an action.
Yes, that would have been an action.
Okay. In that case, Kyrell is going to be absolutely disgusted because they have slime on their hands and they are no longer finding this haunted house amusing, and they are going to stay where they're at right now.
Okay. All right. Next, it is now your turn. You just saw Kyrell like maneuver out of this like sticky door turned monster. What would you like to do?
I'm going to, not wanting to get too close to this thing, seeing what just happened, I'm going to cast Witch Bolt on the Mimic, which, let me think, I have to make a ranged spell attack. Okay, I'm going to use one of my portent rolls to give myself a 12. Does that hit?
12 just hits. That is the armor class. Meets it, beats
Sweet.
it. All right.
Alright, so it's going to take 2d12 lightning damage.
All right.
8 points of damage.
Okay. And I believe with Witch Bolt, this is a sustained concentration spell.
Yeah.
Right. So give you a little concentrating tag there. Alright, so what does your Witch Bolt look like?
I think it is sort of like a kind of like a light purple lightning, like looks very kind of like makes you think of like heat lightning on a summer evening. And it sort of like starts to like charge and spark from the like metallic kind of like weighted end cap on the end of my staff that was probably like a craft of my mother, sort of like sparks there and then like flares out from the other end, sort of like latching on to the like metal parts of this fake door.
Yeah, and like what was the door frame and like the hinges like are sticking in random places of this monstrous creature, and they all begin to like spark alive as your Witch Bolt connects. Amazing. Any movement for your turn?
I think I'm going to stay where I am. Kyrell, did you take any damage from that? How are you looking?
Kyrell's good.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I think that'll be my turn.
Okay. Sylvia, you are up next.
And we start reaching to put her hand on the door, but then she's just gonna pull it back and like raise her middle finger at it. And that's gonna be Vicious Mockery. DC 15 Wiz save.
DC 15 Wiz save. Okay. Oh my god, another natural one. Oh.
Oh, it takes 2 points of damage and has disadvantage on its next attack.
Okay. Got it.
That's it.
Okay. On its next attack, let's see. What's it gonna do? I think it's gonna, your Vicious Mockery was quite rude to it, so it's gonna kind of move sluggishly around, still staying within melee range between Kyrell and Sylvia here, and it's gonna use its pseudopod attack against you, Sylvia. So let's see. That will be a... 23 to hit. 18 plus 5. So that will hit you. You take...
Oh, is that a disadvantage too?
Oh, it did have disadvantage. That's right. My bad. Let me roll again. Does the 10 hit you? No, okay. So, yeah, with the disadvantage, it's really affected by your vicious mockery, and you see its like big purple tongue comes like crushing down in your direction, and you're able to just whoop sidestep it. And that will be its turn. Back at the top of the round, Eunice, it is your go.
I am going to cast Guiding Bolt at this creature.
Okay.
And that is going to be a 9 to hit.
Unfortunately, a 9 misses.
Okay. Damn it. Well, nothing happens on a miss. So, are you okay, Sylvia? Are you feeling all right?
Doing okay. How are you?
I was gonna see if I should maybe do some healing, but it doesn't feel like we are quite in need of it just yet. So that'll be my turn.
Alright, your guiding bolt goes wide. Kyrell, you are up next. What would you like to do?
Kyrell's gonna take out his greatsword and he's gonna take a swing with it.
Okay, roll the hit.
Nat 20 for a 25.
Heck yeah, that definitely hits.
$17 points of damage.
Ooh,
Damn.
alright. Amazing. Yeah, so you strike down with your greatsword, and like the parts of this creature that were once a door, like the wooden parts, you like just cut right through and they splinter off, and it roars in pain.
Kyrell's gonna end his turn and is gonna yell, I think I made it angry.
Alright, next, you are up.
All right. I still sort of having the like Witch Bolt up in concentration can automatically deal another 2d12 lightning damage. Just sort of shouting over like, this was not worth 3 gold pieces. And that's another 13 points of damage.
Very cool. I wish I could turn this.
Whoa.
There it goes. Okay. Yeah, another 13 points. Awesome. Yeah, so, you know, the lightning comes from your rod and just like, it's like arcing in between, like, Kyrell and Sylvia to hit this oozy creature. And it roars in pain. Anything else for your turn?
Let me see if I have any bonus action I can do. I feel like I didn't realize that mimics were this buff. I thought they were just goofy. No, that's it for me.
Alright, Sylvia. What would you like to do? Kyrell is at your side, and you are separated between him and you by a maintained bolt of lightning energy, and this giant mimic is looming over you.
She's gonna pull back her hand, and then as she stabs it back hard, wherever next weapon, where it appears, gonna appear, and she's just gonna try to stab it. And a 16.
A 16 will hit.
Okay. 1 second. I think I have a spell. I just have to double check. Yeah. So it takes 12 points of piercing damage,
Okay.
and I'm going to use. I'm going to cast Wrathful's. Oh no, what was I supposed to do that first? Yeah, shoot. Okay, I was supposed to do that first, so that was just that 12 points of piercing damage.
Okay, sounds good. And then with that, the ooze is going to retaliate against you, Kyrell, and try to bite you. So let's see, that will be that's a natural 20 to hit.
Choo. Fair.
Yeah, I rolled physical dice on that one, sorry. Okay, natural 20, so you take... Let me roll the dice on this. Take... You take 13 points of piercing damage plus 14 points of acid damage. So that is total on the natural 20, 27 points of damage.
Cool.
Yeah, as this creature just like its jaws just like unhinge unnaturally and then just clamp down, biting on you, on like your upper shoulder, on your sword arm, and like as the teeth like sink in, like all the ooze that was dripping from the jaws like begins to like sear into this now open wound. And that will be its turn. Eunice, back at the top of the round, it is your go.
Yep. Time to do some more cleric shit. I'm going to cast Prayer of Healing. Up to 6 creatures of my choice that I can see, each regain hit points equal to 2d8. Plus my spellcasting modifier. Cool. And I'm casting this at 2nd level. So there's less than 6 of us, so everybody gets them. I guess. That would be 10 hit points back to anybody who needs it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I was like, this is my time to shine.
What? Oh shoot. I accidentally
and
put failure test days. Okay, I'll fix that.
yeah, so Eunice, you like clasp the holy symbol you have, and like your eyes like go white with just like radiant energy, and like you say this incantation, this prayer, and Kyrell, some of your wounds like magically begin to close, and like the acid doesn't sting as much. Like it fucking hurt, but you know, you've been healed a bit.
I'm also going to use my bonus action for this one. So that was a 2nd level spell slot. I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Sanctuary on Kyrell as well. So you are warded against attack. Any creature who targets you must first make a wisdom save. And then the spell ends if you take damage, or if you cast a spell or deal damage. Wait! No, because you're gonna have your turn before the creature. That might not be a good use of that spell slot.
Save it. Save it.
Yeah. So never mind. I'm ending my turn. I love how I haven't moved at all. It's fine.
Alright, no
Stay
worries.
there.
Kyrell, it is now your turn. You've just been bitten by this creature. You're not grappled by it from the bite. It just bit and released. What would you like to do?
Tyrell is gonna freaking stab it. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
12.
12 just hits.
So. Is that. 9 points of
Stabby
damage.
stab as you did that?
Yes. Stabby stab.
In character.
In character, yes. Kyrell says stab stab. Okay. Yeah, you just like stab through like part of this, and like as you pull your blade out, some of that acidic ooze like pours out of this mimic.
Kyrell is slowly turning green in the face.
Yeah, it is looking bloodied. Next, it is now your turn.
Alright, and I'm gonna keep shooting this guy full of lightning. Okay, that's 12 points of damage. I got an 11 on one die and a 1 on the other.
Okay. So, your sustained lightning damage hits the creature. Anything else?
For my bonus action, since I took so much damage, I will bonus action use my Balm of the Summer Court feature, which lets me, as a bonus action, give a d6 plus 1 temp HP to someone, so that's a total of 6 HP to Kyrell.
Thank you, I'll take what I can get.
And you feel like, us having like talked about the Feywild earlier, you kind of get that like warm sensation of like a really nice dream, and see these just sort of like lightly floating like motes of like summery light around you as you get a little pick-me-up.
Awesome. Okay. Sylvia, it is now your turn.
Does it look like it's almost dead yet?
It's looking pretty wounded.
Okay. I'm just going to take 2 pumpkin damage into it, so this time she pulls back the blade, and it gets a little bit darker as she casts Wrathful Smite. So that's just doing some extra damage if I hit it. And then she's going to, that's a bonus action. And then she's gonna stab it. Stabby it. Does a 19 hit?
A 19 definitely hits. Yeah, roll your damage with your Wrathful Smite.
11 piercing, and 3 psychic damage.
Okay.
And if it's a creature, it has to do a whiz save or be frightened.
Ooh, okay.
So, and then a whiz save.
Alright. What kind of creature for a whiz save? Does it specify? Just says creature?
Yeah.
Well, this is a monstrosity, so I'm gonna say yes, it will have to make a whiz save. So let me add up that damage real quick. Okay, and then I will roll a wisdom save.
Just 14.
So I'm gonna make this a public roll. Another freaking natural 1.
Like one.
Damn.
That's insane. Okay. Yeah, it is frightened of you.
That's not very quick. So, frightened of you until the spell ends. We'll say when, as an action, it can make another wisdom check against DC to end the spell.
Got it. Okay. All right. Amazing. So it is terrified of you. So I believe it's being frightened. It is going to move away from you on its turn. It's now its turn. So it's going to use its movement to move away. Still maintaining melee distance with Kyrell. But Sylvia, you will get an attack of opportunity on it as it tries to leave you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But it is now approached like next also. So
It was a dirty 20 hit or 11 points of piercing.
11 points. Let's see. Yeah, how do you want to do this?
So, stab in the back. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. So I've been using this glass nail file, and when I stab it in the back, I broke my nail file.
Oh shit!
Oh my god!
Oh my god, that sucks so much! Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, are you okay? Like, are you cut? Do you need a minute?
It's fine. It was like 40 bucks. Okay, stab it with the sword, and the sword's gonna like break, but because it's a heavy weapon, it just like repairs, and I don't know, a piece of it stays in it or something.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so it's an axe, right? I believe is what you have. Or...
No, I had a station right here. I messed up. I wrote a note a while ago, but I messed up on the rules of it. I have to use one-handed things, so it's a rapier.
Gotcha. So it's a rapier. Okay. Yeah. So you you pull out your rapier and like lunge forward, like beautiful fencing pose with a bit of finesse as this creature is now terrified of you. There's like these black shadow wisps all around the blade of your rapier as you strike it forward with a pose. And like as you do, those shadows that kind of wisp around your blade just like sprawl and spread all over this mimic and like begin tearing it asunder basically as it kind of screeches out, and then they kind of reform into like basically a copy of your rapier, but purely just like made of like these dark shadows. As that projection of your packed blade remains in the dead body of this mimic, and your true blade is in your hand.
That made me feel so much cooler than I felt it 2 seconds ago. Great description.
Gotta put the flair on like a packed blade warlock, you know.
Mm.
Alright, we are out of combat.
It's a nice glass one too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Your nail file.
Revlon.
A little excited.
Amazing. Yeah, so as the creature dies, you are now out of combat and faced with the dungeon. And you see behind the mimic there is in fact no door, and this room only has one door, and it is the one that you came through before that doesn't have a handle. And as you begin to kind of settle in this chamber, you hear this clicking sound, and the door that you previously entered through opens, and behind it you see peering like 2 little goblin eyes, and he goes, "Oh shit, they're still alive! Run!" And you hear this like clattering sound as like the goblins start trying to run away.
I fucking move my witch bolt onto them.
Kyrell is freaking running after them, that's for sure.
I cast Hold Person on whichever one is closest to me.
Oh shit, okay. I guess we're still in combat then. Yeah, let's do kind of order of operations. Witch Bolt first. I believe you have to make another attack roll for you to move a target.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the ones where you could like use an action to like switch, but you can't. So instead, I'm actually going to cast Entangle,
Okay.
which is a 20-foot square that is within 90 feet of me, so I should be able to get both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to make a DC 12 strength saving throw or be restrained.
Okay, let me just roll that. One of them makes it, the other one fails. So what your vines kind of sprout up from the ground, and it goes, it really is haunted. And then just like it captures one of the goblins, and the other one starts darting away. And then who is next? I think Kyrell. You wanted to try to run after one?
Yeah, I think it was Eunice that was next, wasn't it?
I think you said your thing before I said mine.
Okay, Kyrell's gonna chase after the one getting away and is gonna try to grapple it if he gets within reach.
The area
Okay,
with vines is difficult terrain, so hopefully that'll slow them down a bit.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, we'll say that with the entangle, it does like Kyrell with your movement, you're able to catch up. So go ahead and make an athletics check to grapple the goblin, and I will make a contested roll for that.
12. Damn.
Well, it rolled worse, so the other goblin is grappled by you. Let's see. 1 second here. Yeah, so you basically captured both of these goblins. The one that's like entangled starts yelling at the other one, and it's just like, Nimble, what are we gonna do? And the other one goes, shut up, Nimble, I don't know what to do. Do you want your gold back? We can issue you a refund.
Oh, you're gonna be doing a lot more than a refund. And Kyrell is just soaking with ooze. I have been oozed.
I will, if I can, like, use the vines to, like, secure the other one, I kind of say, like, should we just turn them over to the guards? Then, you know, maybe go through their pockets before we do so.
I think we need some information about just what the hell is going on here. How did two very capable creatures as yourselves manage to trap a mimic down here? What exactly was your plan?
Well, we didn't trap it per se, we just kind of persuaded it, you know, with the promise of meals every once in a while.
Did you kill people by bringing them down here?
Well, we didn't kill people, but, like, if the mimic got them, we figured, you know, that was just a fair fight.
You just trapped them in a hallway with a dangerous creature. And then took their stuff.
Hey, look, we said at the beginning that if you don't make it out of here alive, we take your stuff.
Does that work both ways?
Oh, no.
You said that you'd brought 7 people down here. Does that mean 7 people have died?
You know, I'm really not good at counting.
Uh-huh.
Kyrell's
gonna... Go ahead.
Sorry, I just asked where all the stuff was that you took from them.
If you let us go, I'll tell you where it is.
Tell us where it is anyways, right?
I mean, they're thoroughly intimidated by you guys.
Yeah.
Here, you know what? Just, we'll give you all the stuff, and, we'll just wipe our hands of this, pretend it never happened, and get out of here.
What if you give us all the stuff, and you get to deal with my friend Eunice here instead of dealing with me?
And they look over at Eunice, who's just like a pleasant-looking old halfling lady.
I just do a little wave.
Yeah, sure. I mean, she said she was gonna bring us to the guards, right? I guess we'll have to do some time or something. Yeah. And, yeah, we keep all the gold and the shinies, in the top floor. And, here, take this. And, one of them, like, reaches and, like, hands you, this silver rod. It's, it was helping us out, so, you can have it, and then we won't cause trouble with it anymore.
Sorry, what happened? They gave us a what?
They give you this, like, silver rod. It is, you examine it, and it is a immovable rod.
Ooh, very chaotic of you.
It's what they were using to bar the doors behind you.
I see. Is there something on the other side of that wall where the mimic was? Or have you all not been down here long enough to investigate?
We just kind of let the mimic hang out in here. Not really our forte.
Do we have a reason to believe that there's something beyond that wall, or this was just like, this was a straight up trap and everything that we care about is upstairs?
Yeah, just for brevity's sake, this chamber is pretty empty, and it looks like these goblins were just running a scam with promising this mimic some snacks and then stealing people's belongings.
Wonderful. Well, I think my friend Bear here is going to go call some of our friends over to pick up you two. So, in the meantime, I guess you're coming upstairs with us so we can keep an eye on you.
Alright, sure. And you guys just kind of like go upstairs, and Sylvia, you go up into the room that like they said has some of the gold, and you find like about 90 pieces of gold, and like several just random trinkets.
No more ghosts?
No more ghosts. 'Twas a scam.
Can I roll on the trinket table for one of those trinkets?
I don't have a table, but I do have a random trinket generator.
Oh yeah.
You find this is very fitting. A pipe that blows bubbles.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And a giant egg with a bright red shell.
Ooh.
It weighs about a pound. That's just a trinket. It's not like a special item. Don't worry.
It's
I
a
said
dragon
that,
egg.
and I would realize that it could be a dragon egg, but it's definitely not a dragon egg. I'm sorry. Damn you, random trinket generator.
So it's not How to Train Your Dragon then.
No.
Well, I think that I should at least change clothes. And preferably get washed. It feels like it's stinging.
Yeah,
Good
and
luck.
Kyrell, your like very fine clothes, like fine thread clothes, are pretty ruined right now.
I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation, which can clean a cubic foot of space and just like clean his head area for him.
Thank you.
The unseen servant comes by with like a little cloth and just starts like scrubbing.
Maybe while Kyrell is getting freshened up, some of us can take these little shits to the guards, and we can plan to meet up at the oh my god, what is it called? City of the Dead? To go to the temple?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. Yeah. So we'll say, Kyrell, you get all cleaned up, and then when you guys go and bring these two goblin creatures to the Watchful Order, the name of the guards for Waterdeep, they give you a Good Samaritan's reward of 30 gold pieces. And take the goblins off your hands.
I hope somebody's going with Eunice to turn these guys in, or otherwise she is going to refuse this reward because
I will definitely go.
she is the servant of the city.
I will definitely go. I look at her, I'm like, spell components are expensive.
Okay, if you say so. I'm just like picturing that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean where Will's like fighting Jack and the blacksmith, and then the blacksmith wakes up at the end and smacks him with the bottle. Goes, just doing my civic duty, sir. That's how she feels. Except she did a lot more than just, hit somebody with a bottle, but I digress.
Amazing. Okay. And then I believe the plan is for you guys to all meet up and reconvene at the City of the Dead. A interesting, very interesting section of the city here. You just get us back into Waterdeep. Okay. Yeah. So, you guys kind of make your way back through the city, reconvening at the City of the Dead, and I'm just gonna give a brief preview of what this ward of the city looks like, so that you have kind of a vibe for the next section. So, entering the City of the Dead, this ward of Waterdeep, the most notable construct and statue here is this giant construct. It is called the God Catcher. And in this very serene atmosphere, the City of the Dead is really just an open air cemetery of sorts. And this construct called the God Catcher is basically of a giant, and the lower half of this giant is buried beneath the earth, but in the upper half, it is reaching upward and palming this massive opalescent globe. So as you enter this area, the City of the Dead, there's like an aura of sanctity and reverence between like rows of tombs and like family mausoleums that dot the landscape. Most people come here to visit temples to pretty much any major god, or even just brave the cemetery when it's spooky at night. Yeah, so that is where we will be picking up in our next session. I'm very excited to play that with you guys.
It's fun little
It
side
was a
quest.
great little side quest, yes. Those
100%.
were hilarious. Like, A+ job on the roleplay, Sam. Like, that was hilarious.
I love the goblins and kobolds.
Yeah, no, that was really fun. I do have to credit the Game Master's book of Traps, Puzzles, and Giant Dungeons by Jeff Ashworth. That's where I got the idea for the 3 doors, and one of them is a mimic.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
Our boy Jeff.
Was that first puzzle like with the buttons? Did we just have to press them?
Yeah, you just had to press all 3 buttons to
Yeah.
open the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hate doors in D&D. They're either like ridiculously complicated or just ridiculously simple. Like,
Yeah.
anyways.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. So if anyone is listening, thank you for listening. And we'll pick up 2 weeks from now at the same time on Wednesday. Yeah. Thank you.